Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the All Sports Podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Lachlan Turner.
And I'm the other co-host of today's episode, Liam McDonald.
And look, we're not going to share it to social media. It'll be in the, the link?
The link's down below, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Why are you making it sound like you have no idea how the posting process goes? I'll wait.
Hey! Hang on a minute. I'm still depressed from Friday night's game. And you know what?
I don't care. I'm depressed from Thursday night's game. What are you going to do about it?
Your team wasn't expected to win. We were expected to win.
We were on top of the ladder.
Essendon were expected to win. Yeah, but Brisbane can't play outside their stadium. It's facts.
Hey, no, we can't play at the MCG.
Exactly. So I can't see you guys winning. Brisbane, I should correct myself, winning a grand final anytime soon if they don't fix that. But the Friday night game, not the Bulldogs.
The Friday night game.
The Bulldogs Hawthorn game was. Look, the Bulldogs Hawthorn game was probably. I don't want to say more entertaining, but I'm not talking about that one. And thankfully, I didn't actually watch this.
Yeah, because you're a true fan.
Well, KO wasn't up at the time, and
itself.
Yeah, KO couldn't put up with what was going on. I looked at I was on my phone, right, and I was looking at just the score general, as it was going, and I saw that Essendon were missing shots early on. It's like, you guys need to be fucking careful. Peter Wright had kicked 2 goals in the first quarter. It's like, could have been 4. It's funny. He's kicked something like 8 points in the last month. He's kicked 6-8 in the last month.
It would be good if that man could kick straight.
He's got a goal accuracy of 61%, which is ranked above average.
I mean, but he's got to carry entire forward line at your back. I imagine it takes it out of your
leg. Now that he's got Jones and Stringer to somewhat help, but then again, Jones doesn't take many marks, and Stringer, when the ball is actually delivered not necessarily nicely, but it's not delivered to him nicely. Because the way the Bombers go inside 450, it'd have to be
it just bombs away.
Worse. Bombs away. Merritt's a big culprit. Parrish is the same McGrath was before they moved him back to the halfback flank. But it's funny. When Essendon got out to a 22-point lead, the Bombers had the first 7 clearances, including combining the centre and stoppages, and they were winning in the contested possession. After they got to that 22-point lead, and then it started to slowly disintegrate. We'll look at the clearances were 30 apiece after that, and Essendon lost the contested possession. I don't know how much by, but the contested possessions, Essendon won that by 3. Essendon were up by, I think at one point, 19. And it was embarrassing, to say the least. Now, albeit West Coast had premiership players in the side, and, Kennedy and, a few of their small forwards combined for, bag of goals. Darling kicked a few. Yeah, Kennedy kicked 5.
See, that just sums up how you guys went. Jack Darling had an impact. He couldn't do anything this season.
Well, to be fair, there is no to be fair. Like that, honestly, that is the most pathetic. Like that loss hurts more than when Essendon lost to Carlton in 2018 to give Carlton their first win. That loss hurts more. The Friday night game. That's just from a member speaking.
Oh, and we also talk about, maybe not right now, but how ridiculous it is that there's 2 Friday night games.
Yes, I completely agree with you there. But Rutten's position has to be questioned. I'm sorry, but Essendon are currently the easiest side to score against from a kick out. So when Essendon kick a point, you can pretty much guarantee the opposition is going to go inside 50 within 15 to 20 seconds, like West Coast did. The other thing is, and this really pissed me off, the inside 50s West Coast had 42 inside 50s. Essendon had 58. So Essendon obviously won that category by 16. The marks inside 50. West Coast took 18 marks inside 50, and Essendon took 13. Now, virtually, that West Coast were almost every 2 inside 50s, West Coast were taking a mark. And it comes down to two things. The zone defense just does not work. That does not work. It comes down to three things. The zone defense does not work. When they press up, they're way too attacking and aggressive. And then if Essendon turn the ball over, say, around their 50-metre line, they're out of position. They can't defend. They are literally their own worst enemy because they've got their defenders that far up the ground to make an impact to help cause an attacking chain. But if Essendon turn the ball over, and let's be honest, their Essendon skills are by far one of the worst in the competition, other than, well, North Melbourne and maybe Adelaide to a certain extent. And the other thing is, now last week we went to the Essendon St Kilda game, and you heard me say that many times how worried I was for Essendon's defence, but they stood up.
Yeah, they had actually a good game that game. They were pretty much the reason
and you look at the size of, I think about it now. You look at the size of those St Kilda forwards. The only bloke who really had a bit of beef about him was Tim Membry. King's a skinny kid, so all Ridley could really do, he could nudge him under the ball that easily. Like, I know King's taller than him, but again, he needs to probably have another season or two in the gym before he can really start, clamping his foot on the ground, because now, he can't do that at the moment.
Well, the period of the game that St Kilda made that comeback at the start of the third quarter, that was there was their two ruckmen.
It was their two ruckmen, exactly right. Exactly right. But then you look at West Coast forwards, Kennedy and Darling, both stronger than stronger than the St Kilda forwards. That's not lie. They had better small forwards. West Coast, Rioli and Ryan are better than Butler and Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the opponents that each of the players had. Now, Ridley, they've shot Ridley's confidence by far. When Kennedy kicked that last goal, I saw footage of it. Ridley left Kennedy to try and make an impact at the contest. He can't judge when to go up third man anymore, because that was the worst decision. And again, it's just getting too they get sucked in. Like, it's not just the Essendon midfielders. It is now the defenders that are getting sucked in, wanting to make an impact at the contest. Ridley has gone backwards with his intercept game purely because they want him to lock down a key defender, but he's not a key defender. Like, he's not that guy that'll be able to hold the key forwards long. He's not a key forward. Like, he's intercept
like a third
defender.
Tall, yeah.
He's a third. He's
a
about
third
one
tall defender.
Pretty much, that's what he is. I mean, and people are going to be like, "Whoa, that's no excuse." Moore's taller than him, and Moore is just as bad one-on-one defending. He can't defend one-on-one, but if you get him up third man, like if he comes in third man, it looks like an absolute A-grade defender when he's not. Sicily the same. So, but Ridley's lost that, knowing when to go to it, if that makes sense.
Instinct.
He's lost the instinct, yes. And then Darling on Laverde. Now, that's just a mismatch in itself.
Yeah, but what else are you meant to do? Did Essendon pick another taller defender for that game?
No, Zach Reed played VFL. Zerka. Now, and then they had Jake Kelly on Darling. Now, I feel sorry for Jake Kelly because he was brought in to shut down the opposition small forwards.
Not play on Jack Darling.
These are the names that I've seen him play on and heard that he's played on. Joe Danaher. When he wasn't on Joe Danaher, he locked down Charlie Cameron. Now, I don't rate Charlie Cameron anymore because I think he just plays for free kicks and thinks it's all about him.
I don't know. If you actually go to a game and watch a game, the defenders get away with murder on Charlie Cameron. Charlie Cameron doesn't
All
actually do
defenders
himself
get
any
away with.
favors by playing it up, but oh my gosh, they get away with murder.
Well, I could say the same thing about Max King. The players, we saw what Ridley was doing to him. He was literally holding on to Max King at every opportunity and never got called. Never got called. So defenders, and it's probably a good thing because let's be honest, the AFL now is all about attack. The defenders deserve some fucking slack, and I'm willing to give him that. But Jake Kelly, I've seen him line up on fucking Rory Lobb. He's a fucking ruckman. What's a 190 centimetre player doing on a fucking 202 centimetre player? What is that? Now, they play Sydney this week, Essendon. If I hear that Jake Kelly has spent time on a key forward, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm sorry, but that is just inexcusable. And
how far away is Michael Hurley?
I heard that within a few weeks he wants to get back to playing VFL football.
Okay. So probably not this season, unless the last.
I don't think he'll play next year. I think the younger guys have gone past him. In the past few years, Essendon have retained slow players, and they put them in the team, which has hampered some of the young guys' development. Like 2020, they were playing Bell Chambers, all those games. And shout out to my grandma. I reckon my grandma was quicker than Bell Chambers. And my grandma has hip, knee, and fucking foot issues. And I'd back my grandma to win a fucking sprint.
So you wouldn't consider putting Hurley out there just because he's a taller guy?
Well, no. Hurley's a 6'3" or 4. Reed's 6'6". I'd rather let that young man develop in the AFL rather than fucking play him in the VFL where he can dominate. Give the guys like Zerk Thatcher and Reed games, and I'll have something to say on Zerk Thatcher. The other, and then last year with Hooker, he started the year off in hot form towards the later part of the year, slowed right up. Don't have him in the side. I don't care. I don't care if the bloke is Gary Ablett, Martin, or the best footballers. If you aren't up to AFL standard anymore and you can't keep up speed-wise, you shouldn't be in the team. And this year, James Stewart's been the slow one, and he does not deserve to get another game for that club. But I honestly don't know where this club is at. That was easily Perkins' worst game of the year in terms of disposal use. He kicked 1 goal, 3, and had a shot on goal that probably went out in the full, so a 20% goal accuracy there. Hobbs had 12 disposals for a first year play. Doesn't sound too bad, but he had 1 kick. And he laid. I think he laid 1 tackle. Not good enough. So,
were you waiting for me to jump up and down about Ben Hobbs and
I'd understand.
The way you looked at me then was like you were just waiting for me to jump in with some.
See, I'd understand it at a ground like the SCG because that's small and players can get lost because of how small that ground is. Like the half forwards, the half forwards will literally have no impact most of the time on the MCG because that ground is so small that they often get overlooked.
Okay, so SCG, you just said MCG, and that's the biggest ground there.
Wait, no, I said SCG.
Yeah, I know, but the third time you said MCG.
Oh, sorry, the SCG. But off the stadium, I'm sorry, but if you can't find enough space to kick the fucking pill, I'm sorry, but obviously he's learned really well from Butcher Boy Merritt. Because Merritt's first instinct is to go backwards with the handball. And we saw what Adelaide did to Matt Crouch, specifically because of him doing that. They dropped him, despite the fact that, numbers and accumulator. Matt Crouch was an accumulator at Adelaide, just getting disposals, despite the fact that, he put his teammates under pressure. Merritt does the exact same thing, and yet nobody talks about it. One game, for example, against the Bulldogs, and I had to have a look at this to make sure that I was correct. Merritt had 36 touches. Yeah, I could probably recall him getting 24, 25 touches, but he had 36. And then you go, well, what was the kick to handball stuff? 9 kicks, 27 handballs. And majority of the time, he put his teammates under pressure. Against Carlton, his first instinct was to go backwards or sideways. Hobbs does the exact same thing. If you think, and I'm not joking. So, and Merritt had 8 turnovers. He's supposed to be the best kick in the team, yet he consistently this year has just given the ball straight back to the opposition. And I know there's been a lot of criticism about the midfield, Essendon's midfield, being small. But and I'll admit to this, I was wrong with this bloke's certain position. I thought this bloke was better off along the wing to use his pace, but I was wrong. And look, his last month, he has answered his critics, and that's Dylan Shield. His best position is in the guts, centre square. And you want to know why? Because he is number 1 in total centre clearances this year so far. Bet you didn't know that.
But that has nothing to do with the fact that it's Dylan Shield and everything to do with the fact that I really don't look at stats like that.
But, because, see, the thing was, I was hell-bent on saying that this bloke is a wingman, specifically because of his pace. Now, really what the Bombers really... And let's just think about this. Like, if I'm trying to picture their midfield rotation, right? So players that go in and out of, play midfield in the guts, centre bounce. This would be my starting 3. You'd obviously need somebody who can get their handball and break away with pace in the centre square. That's Dylan Shield. Dylan Shield was very good at doing that. He's shown that the last month. And, he's number 1 for total centre clearances in the AFL. Now, the bloke who needs to get the ball would be Parrish. And he'd rotate with, say, Jai Caldwell because they're both in and under types. And the last one, you need some size in there because you don't want a 6-foot bloke going up against a bloke that's 6'4", 6'5". You'd either have Perkins or Stringer, and I'd split them 50-50. And the guy that rotates with Shield, it's so hard to find anybody at Essendon that could rotate with him because Merritt's not fast. You don't want Hind in there because he wouldn't have a clue what the fuck he's doing. And McGrath, that experiment failed. So
you could just leave Shield in there for the whole game. He might get a bit cooked, but
I'd honestly consider that. And notice how I left out a certain player that was supposed to be an inside mid. Did you notice that? That I didn't have him in the starting 6 or 7.
How often does Ben Hobbs actually get into the middle, though?
I think he's been in there a total of 20 or so times this season.
So I get the not putting him in there, but how can you also write him off without giving him a go in there?
Well, I'll tell you why. Prior to the Port Adelaide game, Perkins had bugger all centre bounce attendances, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since then, he averages 16, and you can't tell me that's just been out fucking random. They've realised that they need to try something in the second half of the season and give some of these younger guys a go.
Exactly.
And the younger guy that's getting a go is Perkins.
Yeah, Perkins has also been there longer.
What, 1 year?
Yeah.
That means nothing. And I tell you what, I reckon with their first pick, they'll be looking at a bigger, taller inside mid. So that's just going to put Hobbs further down the fucking pack. It will, because what does he offer? Caldwell offers the exact same thing Hobbs does, but is better defensively. Parrish is a better contested player at the moment. You can't kick Shield out because his burst away pace for the last month, has caused opposition trouble. I mean, we saw against St Kilda, they could not keep up with him when he got the ball on the outside. And then you're gonna seriously take out a Perkins or Stringer who 6'3", 6'4", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" for what? Hobbs, who's 6 foot, and let him go up against guys like line him up on who's a tall mid? Well, Cripps. Who else is tall? Well, Bontempelli.
I probably wouldn't be putting a first-year guy on those guys anyway.
Why not? For the experience. How else do you think players learn? Like
okay,
defenders?
cool. So how can you write him off if you guys haven't put him in there?
Because that's obviously telling you something that if they know that they need to change things up, and he gets barely 2 a game, what does that say?
That they don't think he's ready to go in there?
Well, that's a load of shit. Load of shit. I'm telling you right now, I've not seen anything this year that has shown me that he is going to be an A+ midfielder. He has not shown much. I'd argue that the VFL bloke, that Essendon drafted in the mid-season draft, has probably shown a bit more than him. I know he plays on the halfback flank, but by Christ, he's got a lethal left foot, accurate with his kicks. Again, I know they're 2 different positions, but I'm sorry, but again, I've not seen anything. And the fact that his first instinct is to handball just already makes me want to write him off. I mean, I already have written him off, but makes me want to write him off even more.
Well, it does kind of make sense because he was dubbed as like an inside player, right? That was going into the draft. Like
that's ridiculous. Parrish is an inside mid.
That's what they said, right? So if you're an inside guy in your junior years, right? So you're getting the ball from the bottom of the pack, right? That's typically what an inside guy does, yeah?
Most of the time.
Yes. So if that's how you've been playing the entire time you've been learning and developing and playing junior football, right? Then of course your first instinct would be to handball because you pick up the ball and you've got 3 guys ready to jump on you, so you dish it out to another teammate. That would be why his first instinct is to handball.
Well, that wasn't Parrish, who was exactly the same thing. An inside bull, could get the ball inside and outside. And he averages almost just as many kicks as he does handballs, virtually.
Are you talking about Darcy Parish when he first came out of the draft and into Essendon?
Yep.
Or are you talking about Darcy Parish now?
No, Darcy Parish, when he was coming into the AFL.
Yeah, and when did Darcy Parish get thrown into the midfield?
Well, he was there in his first season because his first year was the year that Essendon had their players out.
Okay, but then after that, when everyone came back, he got stuck in the forward line for how long?
Half forward, and then he would have the occasional stint on ball.
Okay. But he's a completely different player to Ben Hobbs, though, isn't he?
No, he isn't. It's the thing with Parrish, though, was you could tell very early on in his AFL career that he was better suited and he played his best football in the midfield. There were that many games where when he was in the middle, he'd get the ball, come out, kick it inside 50, and he would change the game. He would have an instant impact on ball.
But my point is that Ben Hobbs was dubbed an inside player going into the draft. So that's why he got picked as high as he did, right? So the fact that he hasn't
Well, actually, you can't really say that he got drafted as high. Teams passed on him.
Okay, but odds on he would have been picked in the first round, right?
Well, yes.
If you didn't pick him, someone in the next 5 picks would have.
And I wouldn't have complained.
There was a team that offered 2 first-round picks to get him, yeah? So someone wanted him. You can't write
Richmond wanted him.
Yeah, okay, cool. But you can't write him off if he hasn't played in what was his best junior spot.
But I haven't seen anything but there's nothing stopping him from, or the coaches letting him go to the stoppages.
Yeah, so if we're having a go at Ben Rutten, right? then maybe
I'm
the
having
fact
a.
that, yeah,
I'm
but maybe
having.
the fact that Hobbs hasn't kicked on is because Rutten's a terrible coach.
Well, I mean, yeah, that brings a fucking good point, but I'm writing him off because it is stupid that you wouldn't accept. I know for a fact it was 2 first-round picks plus more for a pick in the teens. No, that is something that I would grab at the first opportunity. Why would you reject that? That was the
Because
first mistake.
it
That
also could be a fact that the list manager really rates the guy, and
yeah,
Rutten doesn't.
list manager, the list manager. Yeah, tell me what's what's the superstar player that he's drafted the last 10, 15 years?
Okay, yeah, I get your point, but that it's like what is it? The movie Moneyball, right?
Yes.
Billy Bean puts together this roster, and then they stink at the start of the season because the manager isn't playing it the way that's meant to be played.
Yeah.
So, could you consider perhaps that maybe it isn't Ben Hobbs, but it's the coaches?
No, I reckon it's
Okay,
just Ben
yeah, no,
Hobbs.
it's a really extreme analogy that doesn't really
But
work in real life.
so
But
going
you
on,
can't write him off in like what,
no,
8 games into his
he's
playing
10
career?
or 11 games. So I'm sorry. He's just going to turn out to be another one of these guys that are coulda, woulda, shoulda.
You can't say that about a guy until he gets to like 50 odd games, surely.
Nah, nah. I'm sorry, but I didn't see the sense of making. I tell you what. If they draft like Essendon this year, if they draft like a 6'3", 6'4" midfielder, tell you what, I'll be coming straight back at you and going, they had the opportunity to do this
Yeah,
to a guy last year.
yeah, cool. And then they decided that they'd much rather get Ben Hobbs now and then get that 6'3", 6'4" guy next year.
Hobbs won't
These
pass
AFL
Caldwell.
scouting departments would know what's coming in the next 2 or 3 drafts,
Ben Hobbs,
surely.
Ben Hobbs will not pass Caldwell anytime soon in the midfield department purely because
And he shouldn't.
he
Why
won't.
did you guys give up for Jai Caldwell? Jai
First
Caldwell
round.
was, yeah, but Jai Caldwell was a highly
Sorry,
rated
no,
guy
a
from
couple
the
of seconds.
Giants.
Yeah, who had hamstring issues.
Cool.
And I know he's played majority of the games, but no, I'm saying he won't ever in the future pass Caldwell. I
And he
rate
doesn't
Caldwell.
have to. That's not,
I'm not,
an AFL team has 22, well, I guess 23 guys in a match day team now. Yeah, you
well, yeah,
don't need
virtually.
you don't need every draft pick you make to be better than the last guy. Like every midfielder the
I'm
Bulldogs have
saying that
taken since Bontempelli, you're not expecting them to be better than Bontempelli. You're expecting them to be good enough to help.
I'm saying that it raised questions, considering that they've spent all this capital, like in trade, free agency, draft, to get younger midfielders, and what they're going to just keep topping up with midfielders when they have other needs. Look, one of the needs that they're certain to get to what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here. One of the needs that they're going to freaking
Look at
Well, no, it's
address.
dead certain address, and it's a certainty. Alan Davey Jr., the son of a former Essendon player who played just 100 games, so qualified for father-son. Thank goodness. Thank goodness James Hird for allowing him to play 100 games. Has nominated Essendon for the father-son to be
Where's he
father-son.
play?
Small forward, but can play in the
Oh yeah,
guts.
you guys need a small forward. Done.
Small forward with pressure. That's literally it. So, and he's shaping up to be a top 25 prospect as well. So I'd be interested to see at the end of the year how, if Essendon, because they won't trade their first round pick. There is, if they, I swear, if they do, someone, I'd be very outraged, because that first round pick is looking like it's going to be pick 3 at the moment, pick 3, pick 4.
So what? So pick 3, pick 4, and then you get
this young jet. I reckon that'd be a pretty handy first round. But look, we're looking into the future. I know you asked me like just a while ago. My rant about Essendon's done. You know, I told you I threw the tail in first quarter time round one. Like I literally threw the tail in quarter time round one. Like that. That's just yeah. Like I could see where the season was going to go. But you couldn't say that I didn't tell you so, because I said we weren't going to make finals, and you somehow managed to word them up.
It's not exactly how it went down, okay?
I reckon
Apparently, I
that's how
said
it
something that just ignited that little bit of belief, and you just fucking ran with it.
Well, yeah.
So we're both at fault. We're both at fault for us putting Essendon up there. Like, we both are, okay?
Yeah,
you blame me, I blame you. So obviously both of us.
But prior to that, I was hellbent that we weren't making finals. Correct? Oh, sorry, Essendon weren't making finals. But prior to you wording me up and convincing me, no, I just remember. I
remember something along the lines of, because you were dead set Essendon were bottom 4, and I was like, "Are you
Wait,
sure?"
Was I?
Yes, you were dead set bottom 4.
Oh, okay, jeez, I don't remember.
Yes,
having them down.
And then I was like, "Are you sure bottom 4? You guys?" Because Essendon do have a history of having one good year, one shit year, one good year, right? That's
exactly
how
right.
you guys go. But okay, so you had your good year, and then you were like, "Oh, recent history suggests we'll be bottom 4." And I'm like, "Are you sure you guys just made finals? Are you sure it could be bottom 4?" And then you just kept going. You kept going, okay, so not bottom 4. And then you just kept putting teams in. It's like, oh, no, Essendon will do better than that. Essendon will do better than that. And then we had to put them in the top 8 because you said they'd do better than all the teams below them.
Partly because of you and partly because of me. But look, I just remember you saying, "Are you sure you guys, won't finish higher than this team?" And I'm like, "Yep, no, I think we will." And then yep, then no, then yep, then no. And it's like, and now I look at it back, and it's like we made a big mistake. And
what were we drinking?
I knew that I was right, so that's all that matters. But look, to answer your question about Friday night, like
what
how
the heck
stupid
is
it
with the 2 games on a Friday night? That is just ridiculous.
I don't like it. But, I mean, where else were they going to put this game? Like the West Coast Essendon game? Like, where could they have put it?
Do 2 games on a Saturday? Do a later Sunday game? I don't fucking know.
No, but I see where you're coming from. It is, I do find it quite ridiculous.
Because what? It was like 10 o'clock. The game was at halftime.
Yeah, halftime. Yeah, because that's right. Because I sent you I sent the group chat a message saying how
Essendon were playing pretty ordinary.
Yeah, we won't have to repeat that. I hope. Actually, no. You'll probably get a message on Saturday.
Yeah, 10 o'clock on a freaking Friday on the Eastern Seaboard, and it's like, wait, there's a game that's only half done. This other game's already finished.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about that? They actually tried. I don't know if you could say trial, but they started that Friday night game earlier. Like
it started
Friday
at 7.
Just gone. The one that we went to started at 10 to 8.
Yeah, because there was only one of them.
Well, I think because now the AFL was starting. Look, I'll propose the question: what is a good time to start a night game? Like for me personally, I think it's a 7:20. Like that for me has just always been, used to it growing up. I could, when I was a little kid, used to watching the football. That I was allowed to stay up
for the first
to watch
half?
the game. No, for the whole game.
Oh.
Because it started at 7:20 and it didn't finish at like 11 o'clock or close to it. So, but yeah, so like, no, what do you think? Like, what's a perfect nighttime start? Or night game starting time?
Honestly, it's like anywhere from 7:20 to like 7:45. That's like what it's always has been. 7:45 is probably getting a bit late, but like the 7:20 to 7:30 range is probably.
Yeah, it's a lot more acceptable. Like as I said, I mean, I prefer that. Like, let us know. I mean, we'll probably put a post up there asking what time everybody prefers a night game to be. But just let us know when this episode does get put up. Let us know, DM us, whatever you want to do. Let us know.
What's
what
your
time you?
ideal nighttime? Well, are we talking nighttime as in like Saturday, Friday, Saturday,
Yeah,
and Thursday,
Friday,
or like just
Friday, Saturday,
Friday
and
night?
well, that's the other thing. Thursday night games need to go. Like, I'm getting sick of them. Like they get low attendances because most of the time they have Thursday night
Everyone has
games
to go to
on us.
work the next day anyway.
And school.
Yeah,
Surprisingly, school kids actually care. I mean, I don't know how because I know.
the parents care. Let's be honest, it's the parents that are like, you're not
Yeah,
going to the football, you're going to bed, mate.
or you're not watching the football until this time. You know, you got to go to bed. Yeah, look. Um, I think Thursday night games need to go. But if they ever decide that they want Thursday night games, got to do it during school holidays. No point doing it, you know, in
Midterm.
the midterm or in the middle of winter. Like, who wants to say, for example, you're from Bendigo? No, who would want to go from Bendigo to go watch their team play in the city in front of what, fucking 20,000? Then to how many people were at the Thursday night game?
33,000,
That's shit.
I think.
That
33.
that's a shit
between
crowd.
33 or it was 33 or 36,000. One of those two.
That's still shit.
Yeah, top of the table clash, by the way. First, second.
Melbourne is supposed to have all these members, and I'm not trying to crucify them by whatever means, but I think, look, and I reckon, and the AFL have got a big issue here where they need to figure out how they're going to get crowds back. I mean, they've already announced that they're going to have paper tickets back.
Because they were digital only this year, I think.
Yeah, apparently they were getting a lot of, not hate, but like they were
Grief.
getting a lot of grief by fans, which, I mean, fair enough. I mean, I'd rather the paper tickets, to be honest, because sometimes the online ones don't work properly. They don't scan, as you found out on Friday when you almost weren't allowed in. I'm sure, like, it took the person like 5 goes to scan your ticket?
I didn't turn my brightness up.
Oh, I mean, see, yeah, you have to be specific
It
there.
does say on the ticket, brightness to full.
Okay, well, so you obviously didn't read the ticket properly, and then
No, I read the ticket, and I was just like, nah, it's just scare, it's just fear mongering, it's just trying to scare me. No, it was serious.
But and then the prices for food and drinks are ridiculous. Like the cheapest
was it
drink,
$10.50 for that beer you got?
Yep, and chips and whatnot. If you were to buy, say, a can of soft, or soft drink and say chips and a hot dog, you're looking at like close to $20. Like, that's way too expensive. They should do what local will do. Beers are $5 and bourbons, they're like $8. I mean, that's fair.
Well, the problem is that when
they
you
wouldn't
have
make much money.
Yeah, and also
then the crowd abuse as well. You'd
yeah,
probably get,
like that's a lot of people that you're giving alcohol to,
and you don't know who's gonna let off the first.
And the thing with the local football is, it's fair to say that like home crowds, most people know everyone, so you know who you're giving the alcohol to. You know who is gonna go nuts if you let them have too much and such as.
Yeah,
but like
you, I wouldn't give much to you because you might go a bit haywire. But then again, though, you could say the exact same thing to me with a certain
oh my gosh,
certain drink.
Do you really want to go there?
Yeah, look, I think I've realised that I'm going down a bad road, and I don't want to go any further down that road because I know it'll lead to it'd lead to embarrassment. But anyway, so let's talk about the cricket now. Well, the up and coming Test series, and yes, Maxwell, the first time since 2017, 2018, he's going to play first class cricket because this technically counts as first class. So, but geez, I tell you what, Australia, how many players were out injured in the ODI series? I mean, they had Smith went, Head went, Marsh, I mean, he's not in the Test squad, but he went. Didn't something happen to Cummins or no?
I have no idea. I haven't really been paying attention outside the fact that we just lost a one-day series to Sri Lanka.
To Sri Lanka, yeah. After winning the first game, mind you, we lost the next 3. Now, I couldn't watch any of it, but I just know that the pitches weren't that. I think they were pretty slow.
They weren't
but
dust bowls, were they?
no, they weren't quote unquote dust bowls. According to you, which as I have said in the past, I like that. You know,
But
that's probably the most.
that's more like India, Pakistan.
Oh, don't tell Sumit that.
I'll sub it. You know what? I don't care. If he wants to go for a terrible cricket country, that's up to him.
A what?
You heard me. Terrible.
Jeez, righty-o. I mean,
Terrible.
you just heard it there.
Come get me, India cricket fans. Come get me.
Well, there you go. I mean,
I'm talking to all three of you.
if you want to leave hate comments for Liam, just put them down below.
You know what? Send a personal DM to Lockie. He'll gladly pass it on to me.
Actually, yeah, no, even better. If you have any issue with Liam, I'm speaking to the Indian cricket fans. If you have any issue with what Liam said, DM me, and believe it or not, I will pass it on to him in a nice way. And Liam knows, so I can see the look on your face.
Lockie
You're like,
has
yeah, bullshit.
Trust me, guys. Lockie's definition of nice will leave you fully satisfied that I have copped it.
That's a very good point. But look, the test series starts on Wednesday. That's the 29th, I believe, isn't it? On Wednesday. That's the date for Wednesday,
yeah.
isn't it? 29th. Yep. So, and it starts at about 2:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'm glad I said that right because I thought I was gonna.
Dang, I'm gonna have to go to the dentist.
Cook. I thought I was gonna cook that. 2:30. Oh.
That's funny. That is high quality. That is high quality.
I was a bit confused at the start, but when you continued on with that, I was like, okay, that's is that a dad joke?
My tooth. I might have to
go to the dentist at 2:30. Oh, fuck's sake. Oh, jeez, your dad jokes are shit. Anyway, so
that's because I'm not a dad yet.
But I think it'll be interesting to see how Australia go on a spin-friendly pitch.
Playing multiple spinners and being unable to play spin ourselves, it'll just be great.
Well, Usman Khawaja will be under a fair bit of pressure, fair to say.
Yeah, there's the one guy who can play spin. Oh, wait, can he even play spin? Or is he?
He used to be one of the worst.
Yeah,
that's his big weakness. Although in the Pakistan Test series, he was decent until he threw his wicket away like twice in the series.
Nice.
So, but look, I mean, well, the last time they played Test matches in Australia, in Sri Lanka, they got whitewashed, as in Australia got whitewashed 3-0.
Hey, whitewash, settle down.
Yeah, look, nothing compared to England. Yes, I said that. I don't give a shit. Screw England. They're actually looking half decent now, and it's scary. I'm actually scared for like next year's Ashes series
because it's over. They're actually going to attack us.
Yep.
Look what they did when they were playing defensive. Just wait till they start attacking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, if they still have Zach Crawley and Rory Burns up there as the openers, I'm pretty looking quite forward to it. But anyway, honestly, I reckon. Well, look, Marnus hasn't scored many runs as of late, so I reckon he'd be under not pressure for his spot, but I mean,
pressure to actually do something.
Pressure to actually do something. I mean, they obviously would have looked at what Mark Wood did to him and intimidating with short stuff. You know, you reckon Sri Lanka may have had a look at that and gone, "Yep, might want to do that to him."
Do they have anyone that can do that to him?
I actually don't know. I don't know any of the Sri Lankan bowlers' names.
Yeah, this is a pretty ropey segment, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's already looking a bit sour on that part. But look, if you can watch Test cricket, starts on Wednesday, I'd recommend it. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be like, "Ugh, Test cricket." Just shut up.
Just wait for the highlights package.
No, don't do that. Just shut up. You can't call yourself a cricket fan if you don't watch Test cricket. Like that
you can. You can quite easily.
No,
There's a lot of
can't.
cricket that happens that isn't Test cricket.
Yeah, T20, that doesn't count. That's just a bit of backyard bash. So I don't count that. Oh, okay. Now then the West Indies now, they made the T10. Stupid tournament. But
is it T10? I thought it was like a 60-ball tournament thing.
That's literally 10 overs. You may as well just call it Come
I
on,
thought they were
man.
calling it the T60 or something.
Oh, it's probably the T60, but I'm calling it fucking T10 because it's 10 overs.
Yeah, but have you seen the rules that they've like proposed for
It's
that?
shit.
There's
Again,
like there's
that's
like
not cricket.
there's like a voted upon free hit ball. Like the crowd or like the fans at home get to like vote for a random ball to be a free hit.
That's
But
shit.
you only have 6 wickets to
Yep.
lose.
Saw that. It's a shit concept.
I
That's
don't
not
really
cricket.
remember any of the other rules. Those are just the ones that stick out.
No, I don't. I'm not going to watch any of it. I think it's shit. I mean, BBL's already dying, and now that they've added in this draft concept, I think it's just going to.
Which means you actually have to bid for players, like you have to pick draft players instead of sign them yourselves.
Which is ridiculous. I mean, hopefully the Melbourne Stars don't get Harris Rolfe again because he's been ordinary.
You watch Harris Ralph get picked up by another team and just absolutely wipe the floor with the Stars.
I mean, that's what former Stars players do, don't they? Yeah,
Yeah.
look, we don't want to answer that. We don't want to answer that. Now, the other day, something interesting happened. Well, I won't say interesting, but
You're
a
saying
big.
the NBA draft wasn't interesting?
Well, look, I mean, no, I'm not saying that, but
Well,
like, give
uh,
us a recap of what happened.
the New York Knicks confused a lot of people.
Oh,
So,
God.
so they had a high draft pick, right?
Yep. Oh, well, haven't they always had a
And
high
then
draft
they
hit
then they
recently?
drafted someone, and then they traded him to
Oh,
OKC. They traded him to OKC for three first round picks, right? So good business. They got like a later pick, like in the 20s in the current draft, and then two future ones. And then they traded the pick that was in the current draft to the Hornets for pick 13. Then they traded the guy that they took with pick 13, like Jalen Duran, I think his name was. They traded
yeah.
him and
I
Kemba
heard so.
Walker to Detroit.
What?
So they made like two trades and came out with no rookies and no Kemba Walker. So they've cleared salary cap space.
Didn't one of the players that they drafted, like, didn't some of the Knicks fans boo him?
Yeah.
The guy that got traded to OKC, am I right?
Asamu Dieng, I think his name was.
What the hell? Like,
New
I
York
mean,
are
to be fair, I
very
can't
boo
talk because
happy with their prospect picks.
I
But
mean,
like,
I can't necessarily talk about booing draft selections. We don't have to let people know what I
but yeah,
think.
he was like a project pick. Like, would take a couple years of developing to get good, and the Knicks have a terrible track record taking development picks.
I also read somewhere where there was a certain team that it may have been, it could have been Sacramento, that the player that they draft, the player after them, ends up being a
Oh
really good
yeah,
player.
like they took okay, so going back for a while, they took Jimmy Fredette, and then the next pick after was Klay Thompson.
Oh no!
Do you know who Jimmy Fredette is?
Nope.
Exactly. And then there was another year they took Marvin Bagley, and then the pick after was Luka Doncic.
Whoops.
And then what was the other one?
There, I saw it. It was
The third
somebody.
one.
Was it Thomas Robinson for Damian Lillard?
Oh yeah,
Like the
and then
next
they
pick?
took Thomas Robinson the pick before Damian Lillard.
Ouch. Ouch.
So yeah, but so the top three, the three players taking the top three were always the guys taking top three. But so do you know Woj? Like
Who?
Woj, he's like a NBA media guy who like
No.
but like like if something's going down in the NBA, he knows, right? He's like that level of dude. So the
Oh,
morning of the
okay.
draft, he said that pick one was going to be Jabari Smith Jr., pick two was going to be Chet Holmgren, and three was going to be Banchero, right? And then, like just before the draft started, he changed his report to saying that looks like Banchero is being considered with pick one, like he's in the discussion. So Orlando take Banchero pick one, OKC
Huh.
take Chet Holmgren pick 2, and Houston Rockets take Smith pick 3, right?
Yeah.
Anarchy on NBA Twitter. Anarchy. Because
Right.
the top 3 was right, but it was just flipped.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It's just
So,
craziness. And then the Kings go and draft. I think he's one of the oldest guys in the draft. Like, he stayed at college for a lot of hold on, let me get up the. Hold on.
well, then it looks like the guy after the Kings drafted is going to turn out to be a half decent
Yeah,
player.
hold
Then
on, come on. Where is it? Oh, cracky. This going well. But yeah, Jaden Ivey got taken pick 5 by Detroit. So, but the guy the Kings drafted was the best scorer in college
oh, okay.
last season. Like, the season just gone. So it's not like
Yep.
it was completely ropey. But yeah, Keegan Murray. So power forward from Iowa. But yeah, he was like one of the best scorers in college basketball last season. So
All
it's
right.
not like it's a terrible pick. It's just, and he's regarded as the most NBA ready guy in
Oh,
the
okay.
draft. So like, and they've said that they want to make the playoffs next season. So,
Okay. Well,
but
let's
yeah,
hope that
but like
doesn't.
Paolo Banchero, Jabari Smith, and Chet Holmgren, they're like the 3
That
potential to
was,
be anything guys. Like, they could be ridiculous.
and then one of the Aussies got drafted to
And
the
then
Pelicans, didn't they?
yeah,
Pick
and
8.
then pick 8 Dyson Daniels from Bendigo. He got picked up. And then
And then there was another Aussie that got drafted, wasn't there?
yeah, that was, I don't know if it's first round or if it
I
was,
think it
I
was the
think it was
second round.
second round, but yeah, he played for
Perth Wildcat.
Perth Wildcats. Yeah, he got taken late second, I think. Let me just find it. It was yeah, pick 56, Luke Travers got taken by Cleveland.
Okay. A few more Aussies in the NBA won't hurt.
Yeah, it didn't hurt anyone. But yeah,
I
so the top 3 didn't go the way that everyone thought it would go, but
like the players
but
were
the 3 top guys got taken in the top 3.
they're all, yeah, that's always the thing with like sports that have drafts. You know, there's always like 1, 2. You know, there's a debate. You know, with the early picks. You know, like pick 1. You know, it's between these. 2, 3. It's always the same every year. Like oh, these guys could go pick 1, or no, these guys could go pick 1. Then these guys. It's like I don't think I've ever seen a draft where there's been 5 guys that could contend for like a number 1 pick. I've never.
But that's also a product of like the way American media works.
Oh, but not just America, but like
I know,
AFL.
but like AFL, that's because the AFL, like, but all these drafts have a whole bunch of like circumstances and stuff, because there's like the combines and then there's like private workouts. So like
Yeah.
at the start of like by the time you actually get to draft day, like it could start the season as like 10 guys could go pick 1, but by the time you get to the draft day, if it's more than like 1 or 2 guys being considered for pick 1, then the team with the number 1 pick hasn't really done their due diligence, have they?
No, like I know when Essendon obviously had the number 1 pick, it was between.
It was 3. It was
No,
Taranto,
no, yeah,
McCluggage, and
3,
McGrath,
3 and
but
4.
it wasn't really 3. It was only
No,
2 because Taranto was going to get
4. No,
matched. Yeah?
Taranto wasn't considered.
Oh, really? I
No, the
always thought
4.
it was.
No, the 4 that I remember, or the 3 that I recall hearing about, the 2 in particular.
Remember, it was definitely
McGrath,
McGrath and McCluggage.
McGrath, McCluggage. Then you had the GWS Academy boy in Will Setterfield, who's now
Oh,
at Carlton.
Setterfield.
And then the other one, the Bombers thought about it, but thankfully didn't because it would have been a bit too high. Jack Bowes.
The Gold Coast, he ended up with Gold
Coast.
didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Huh.
So, well, yeah, there's a bit of
Because I always thought it was McGrath, Taranto, and McCluggage that were like, those were like The
No,
consensus
I don't. I
best
don't. I
three.
don't recall Taranto.
No, but like I'm not necessarily for Essendon, but like the three best prospects in the
Yeah, the
draft.
three best prospects. I'm just trying to think who else was in that draft that went early. Other than Taranto, Ben Ainsworth was a top prospect. Oh, sorry, no, Will Brodie was another one early in the year as well.
But yeah, that's the thing with drafts. Like from outside perspective, yeah, there could be three guys contending, but the teams and the amount of time they put into it.
There's probably like 10 that they consider.
Yeah, but that would be, but that's, but by the time you get to draft night, I'd be surprised if it's any more than two or three.
Yeah,
Like,
and
but then
honestly,
you have the rest of the teams that are like picking the top 10 that have like anyone from a set list. And it's like, okay, if this guy somehow gets past the first lot, then we're taking him, sort of thing.
yeah, like, and so going back to that draft, like the McGrath draft, I was actually hoping throughout the entire thing that we'd get McCluggage.
And I was hoping you'd take McGrath, not gonna lie.
And how it's turned out, McCluggage is an all Australian wingman, or should it be all Australian wingman? And what have we got? A halfback flanker. Oh
Such is life.
dear. Yep, that's it. I mean, painful being an Essendon supporter. I just can't wait till this year's draft when our first round picks a wingman or a halfback
I just,
flanker.
I just kind of hope that it's not the same situation where the entire night you're saying, I hope we don't get pick this guy, and then they pick this guy.
Yeah, look, well, obviously we'll probably watch it at my place again.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's like a few months down the line. No
Nah,
need
nah,
crystal
look,
balling it.
no, it's all right. And I'll make sure that no alcohol was consumed by me that night.
Fine, whatever. You know what? We should probably wrap up this episode. I feel like it's been dragging on for a little. Well, been going for a little while. At
Yeah,
least an hour by my estimation.
yeah. I mean, judging by your estimation so far tonight, I don't know whether or not to go by you, but I think I will.
Thanks for the
So,
faith, but I'm still signing off regardless. If you want to sit here and talk by
oh,
yourself, be my guest, mate.
geez, okay. Well, that's not nice. But anyway, look, as old mate here said, it's time to wrap it up. So we'll well, whenever this episode gets put out,
Ideally, sometime this week. A double episode week.
yeah. Oh,
If
there
there's
you
been two
go.
episodes this week, you'll know that I haven't failed.
But if there's only one, you know that I'll probably rip into, or not rip into him, but I'll have a word to him on Sunday again. And I'm
Lucky
just
me.
looking, and I know by the look of that face and what you just said, you're looking forward to it. So, and go old fashioned. See you later.
Toodles.